Good morning! Wow, it's so bright. Today it's 26th of June and actually it's the Islamic celebration for Muslim in the world. In Indonesia, it was celebrated yesterday, but in China, it's gonna be today. I'm heading to not the biggest, but one of the bigger mosques around my area. And I'm so excited because I'm doing it alone. I don't have a Muslim friend here. I do actually, my colleague, but then he's practically not practicing, so he doesn't pray like that. But other than that, yeah, I was told that it's gonna be start at about 8:30, or I have to be there at 8, so I assume that they will start at 8:30. So I'm rushing, and I'll try to put you along with me in the journey. Yay, see you later. Bye. In China, and this time I don't have to go out of the country anymore every single month or something like that, and it really totally affects how I feel right now because of this certainty that I have now. I feel a lot more, of course, settled and more appreciative upon my situation, and especially Yinchuan. I already can hear someone is reciting Quran, so it's just nice actually. Right now I'm going to go to the nearest mosque. Yay! Ni hao. 你叫什么名字？
我叫马欣。
我叫西发。你很漂亮。拜拜。Technically, there are only 3 women that is exactly, I think, trying to wait for prayer inside of the mosque, and mostly there are men, and I think it's prioritized for men, which is very weird because in Indonesia we have a very similar quota in terms of like men and women, and I think it's just quite different, but it's just interesting to it's just interesting to see the differences we'll see how it goes. Keep you posted. Bye. Wandering around, just got up from the bus, and not actually so sure about my plan today because my friends and colleagues are going back to their hometown. So I initially wanted to join her, but I thought I don't want to interrupt her quality time with family and friends. And so I'm currently in a bit of a center of the city, and there's a park behind, also a mall and a bit of street food vendor. All of them, not actually all, but mostly a lot of them are closed because in Yinchuan, specifically in this province, we do have holiday from today until Wednesday because of the Eid celebration. Not all China is celebrating, but because this province is autonomous province, which is special for Hui people, and that's why they do have days off. But yeah, I'm just trying to wander around and chat a little bit later. Bye. If you cannot afford New Balance, there is a Chinese version of New Balance which called New Bolongs. Quite funny though. So I have decided to actually come back home, change my hijab because it's easier than the previous one, and put on a little bit of a brighter lipstick because it's really bright day today, quite warm. But the good thing about Yinchuan is that because it's dry, so I wasn't really sweating. At this time, I would like to speak and talk a little bit about Muslim in China. I cannot represent Muslim in China in general, but as far as I know, in Yinchuan and some little part of north and western part of China, there are plenty of Muslims here. That actually Muslims are a significant minority in China. I know there are plenty of news, especially in the most northwestern part of China, if you know and have heard about Xinjiang. There are news spreading around that the government bans the wear of religious attributes such as a veil and burqa and something like that. I personally don't agree with the idea of burqa. Veil, it's very personal. In Yinchuan by itself, I've come across a lot of actually more mature women, which means older women and older men who wears the religious attributes such as the veil and also the white hat. However, most of the younger ones, they actually are Muslim. They acknowledge that they are Muslim, but they don't practice. So technically they don't pray, and even most of them, they don't know how many times or how to pray, which I don't want to sound to be so judgmental, but I think it comes back to the fact that it is more of an ethnic, because I spoke to one of women at the mosque today. She studied in Sudan for 3 years, I guess, studying Arabic, and
that shocked me quite a bit because I wouldn't expect someone from China studied in Sudan. Anyway, what she knows is that actually a lot of women are acknowledging that they're Muslim, that they would say that they are Muslim, but not all of them are technically can even pray or know how to pray, or like fasting, like do the things that is Muslim, I would say, supposed to do. I never actually want to highlight or mention any type of religion in my channel because recently I've got so much hate comments. I don't know where are these people coming from, and mostly are from men. Actually, all of them are men. Hating on Islam, which I understand why is it happening because of the current situation which relates to ISIS, and a lot of people are really correlates Islam to ISIS. And what I honestly don't agree with them is that it doesn't necessarily mean that I agree with what these people are doing, ISIS are doing, and I don't necessarily are, or even I am the same with them the way I think. And I don't take that personally, honestly, because I've gotten so much used to with it, and I don't want to take it too much into account. But it's just weird because my channel is about my day-to-day life, travel, and especially right now I have moved to China and I'm based in Yinchuan. It has nothing to do with religion. It's just today because it's the special Islamic celebration day that I would like to highlight, to show a little bit parts of Yinchuan and Islam that actually majority of people in Yinchuan are Muslim. So there are 4 provinces that has a significant Muslim. First is Xinjiang, because Xinjiang is technically the largest province in China, and they're not Hui people, they're Uyghur, and they're technically are influenced by the historical situation with the Central Asia. That's why the Silk Road is heavily obvious there and tangible. The second one is Ningxia, which is Yinchuan, where I'm residing as of now. The third one is Gansu. It's probably you know about Lanzhou, which is very famous, and the other one is Qinghai. The famous city from Qinghai is Xining, and I'm very much curious as to how Islam in other parts of the world, because there may be some same basis. It's not like my main goal or purpose as to why I travel, but it's just nice to actually I have come across something that I'm very familiar with in the place that I'm currently living now, even though it's very far away from home. Mind you, my place is closer to Inner Mongolia and Russia than to Hong Kong. So technically, if I want to go to Hong Kong, it's so much farther than going to Inner Mongolia, or Mongolia as a country by itself. I would say it can be a very sensitive topic to talk about, but I would like to highlight that my channel has nothing to do with Islamic imposes or like trying to impose you anything that is related to being a Muslim or Islam as a religion as a whole. It is very personal, and I would really appreciate and respect if you guys don't actually comment in such a negative and hateful way, because there are some viewers of mine that are technically Muslim and asking about halal food, but I've explained a little bit before in my previous video that I don't technically really specifically eat halal food, which means I don't necessarily that is my diet. although I don't eat pork, but when I traveled back then, it was hard because Muslim is a minority, like let alone they don't understand what is halal food. But right now here it's easier because most of them are Muslim, so I just believe that it's just cleaner and they don't contain any pork or lard. Anyway, I think that's all about it for today's video. Tomorrow, 27th of June, is my birthday, 25th birthday. I feel like right now I have so much more become appreciative about this place. I'm happy that I have my own place. It's not the most modern that one can get, but my school or my company provides the accommodation, and I'm very much happy with my own space, that I live alone. That technically sometimes it can be really lonely, honestly, because it's hard to find foreigners in Yinchuan, and let alone female foreigner. I had a friend, if you remember, her name is Dani in my previous video, that we were cycling around Incheon. She moved to another city called Qingdao. So now I technically only have my colleagues and only very few other people, sometimes foreigner, sometimes Chinese, but most of the Chinese speak English. Most of Chinese here actually. So yeah, anyway, I'm starting to blubber on. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye!